Oops. Whoopsie-doopsie.
Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to our stream.
This music reminds me of Kingdom Hearts for some reason. Anyway, we are going to try our hand at beating this. Now, one thing that I do want to check, do I have... I don't have enough points to get cleanse, unfortunately. One thing that I'm curious about is I want to know whether this will remove, and it doesn't look like it does. I was wondering whether it would remove that desecration effect. And so what you were supposed to do is have your monk at the start be immune to it and then cleanse it. I didn't think so, because based off of the stats that the boss had and the tiny groups that I was fighting in there, I didn't think it was likely. But I wanted to confirm. Now, the one thing that I do need to do is I need to get my characters in the tankiest position I can get them. And one of the things that's going to be required for that is that I need to be not diseased. So I need to head back to go remove that disease effect, and hopefully what I'm basically looking for is to see if I can get the rest of the party just durable enough that I can get to and take out that Desecrator. I don't know if this is going to be how it works, but my assumption is that if I kill that Desecrator, the rest of my party loses the Desecration status effect. That's just my assumption. I could be wrong, but it makes sense to me. So I'm gonna work with the assumption that that's the case. So that's not the right way. So we're going to head back to town, and then when we're on our way back, if I get diseased, I'm going to have to decide whether I want to reload or whether I want to... that's not the right way either. I'm good at this. Oh, wow, that's... This is... I'm going literally every wrong direction. And it's, interestingly enough, it's easy to think that going every wrong direction like takes effort or talent, but much like going the correct direction, if you pay attention to the way that the area is designed, you can have a pretty decent idea depending on how the developer has designed the area. So as an example, in this area, it is designed to mess you up on the way back. I would give better than even odds that that is the case. Let's see. So I think what we're going to want to do is take the thinger to get back. Let's see here. What was I saying? Oh, so in terms of like area design. So you're naturally going to be drawn to certain places. So imagining that you have a basic idea of where you're trying to get. If you're trying to just go the fastest route, trying to go as quickly as possible to an area, you're going to take a given route, right? You're going to go this particular direction. And so if you assume that the developer is on your side and wants you to get there in a quick and efficient manner, then you'll go that route. But if you make the assumption that the developer wants you to have to go on this long, convoluted pathway, you go a different route. Because one of the things that's I think people underestimate, and this is true of not just video games but in all narratives, is that everything in here, from personality characteristics of the characters to the way the map is designed, all of that was designed with intent, right? None of that came out of nowhere. Somebody designed all of it. And since somebody designed all of it, every single piece of it, assuming that the person knows what they're doing, every piece has a purpose and exists for a reason. And even if the person isn't really paying that much attention, they might just not be aware of the reason that they put this in. Because a lot of things of that in that regard are like tropes, and that they're going to fall back on. If you're doing lazy writing, you're going to fall back on tropes, right? And if you fall back on tropes, then you might not recognize the way that your narrative is being influenced by specific key needs that you have. Anyway, so with regards to area design, fundamentally, with regards to anything that's designed, so anything that's designed because it has a purpose is any system can be manipulated by understanding how the system probably works, as opposed to actually knowing what you're supposed to do. So I very heavily rely on that in my life. And to give you a good example of like this in like a real world situation, in terms of designed things, if you think of like a test in school, specifically multiple choice, but even non-multiple choice have their own things, but multiple choice is the easiest to like talk about. In a multiple choice test, if you don't know the answer is C. If you choose C, statistically you have the most likely chance of actually succeeding. The reason being that somebody designed that test, and people will just lend towards C. Because A looks too obvious because it's the first option, and D looks too obvious because it's the first option, and B is just not as popular as C. But B or C are both better options than A or D, unless the organization that's giving you the test is actually aware of this and does not allow themselves to do the choosing. See, the thing is that if a teacher is aware of the fact that C is usually the correct answer, it would be easy for that teacher to design tests with the assumption that you should always have the same number of each, what's the word? Each one. So like A, B, C, and D should be equally represented. But giving equal representation to A, B, C, and D is non-random. That's giving equal representation, which means that if the student recognizes that, hey, this teacher is consistently doing this on other tests, and they know that they haven't gotten any B's on this question that they don't know the answer to, they're probably like, okay, well, this is probably B. So when you look at the mechanics of creation, I didn't go the right way. Oh, that's fine. I had intended to bring my boat over, but that's fine. We'll be okay. Probably. But maybe not. So when you're looking at the mechanics of creation, it's important to understand that it was designed with a certain intent. And you can, by understanding the intent, you can understand how it should work. And you can get pretty good results by just understanding how it should work. In most contexts, there's very few things where understanding how it should work doesn't give you great amounts of insight into the specific mechanics that are involved. Okay, well, since I forgot my boat anyway, I'm just going to walk back. It's fine. So we're going to walk back, and then we're going to rest, and then we're going to be sad, and all that jazz. Bum, 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 bum. So let's see if I actually remember which direction I'm going now. I just did this, so if I've already forgotten, then y'all will know. That I done messed up. Okay, so we got the int debuff on them, which means that they're going to be hitting for questionable amounts of damage. He got a crit for... Wow. So let's see. That, as a result of that, I often feel bad for certain characters who are given sort of like the short end of the stick. Like, in narratives, this sort of what's the word? In narratives, I very rarely pay too close attention to people's personality characteristics because they're not real people. And I know they're not real people. And those personality characteristics that they have are just there to manipulate me. So when I'm looking at the course of the narrative, I can't buy into the characters. There's some... That's not true for all narratives, but when it comes to like popular narratives and things like that, all these characters are explicitly designed to manipulate your emotions. They're not designed with a personality in mind. They're designed to manipulate you. So as an example, the reason that the villain will always at some point kick puppies or do some other universally loathed behavior, particularly if the villain has a cause that's sympathetic, right? The reason that villains are always sociopaths is because they're trying to manipulate you into siding against the villain. When that's not... It's not reasonable. It's entirely possible to have a character who has legitimately... what's the word? When you think of all of the characteristics that people like, you know, when you think of loyalty, loyalty is a really good example. Loyalty is the best example. I hate loyalty. I think loyalty is a stupid characteristic, and I think that valuing loyalty is a terrible thing. Because loyalty is where cronyism comes from. Loyalty is where racism comes from. Loyalty is where all sorts of the horrors of the world come from. Because loyalty just means valuing your people over other people. That's what loyalty is. And that's not how people think about it, but that's what it is. That is what it is. If you're, you know, put in a position where you have one of your friends in trouble, but they're only in mild trouble, and you have someone who is in obviously more serious danger, the loyal thing to do is to help your friend and ignore the stranger. That's loyalty. And that's not a healthy characteristic to be broadcasting. But anyway, loyalty is very often portrayed as like a primary characteristic of the villains, but they don't portray it as if it was loyalty, and they always give that character like some sort of extremely malicious and like unpleasant characteristics that everyone will universally like oppose in order to balance out the fact that this character is clearly just like doing the thing that the hero is doing, basically, in most narratives. And then like being uncompromising in your, you know, morality. Being uncompromising in your morality that's being an extremist. I mean, that's pretty much the definition of being an extremist, is being completely uncompromising of your beliefs in the face of reality. And, you know, the number of times that, like, the so-called hero has let the villain live, and then the villain goes on to kill millions of people, and then they pretend like the hero is still in the right, or they let the villain live, and the villain doesn't go on to kill millions of people because Deus Ex Machina kills the villain for the hero. That kind of stuff. Ugh, irritating. Okay, so basic gist. All writers are liars. All writing is propaganda. Okay, now let's go ahead and get ourselves cured up. We don't really need to worry about mana efficiency here, because he's not going to be able to cast any spells ever again. So let's load this up. I'm wondering what I want to put points into for his stats, actually. I'm wondering, do I want to keep pumping magic defense? I definitely want to keep pumping magic defense for Oberon. And for him. So he's got 601, he's got 650. So the other thing that I need to do is we need to figure out what is my best durability gear. So I think Rejuvenating Cloak is a given. We want the Shield Hat. And we want... what? Mercenary's Robe gives immunity to a bunch of status effects. That's probably not what I want. And the Sapphire Robe gives a nice defense bonus, which is what we want. Now, these increase preempt, but are not quite as good from another standpoint. So he doesn't need MP right now. So I'm going to deal with the other people first. So for him, he can use this, because he doesn't really have anything better to do. The Pearlescent Gauntlets we want to keep on. And let's see, don't need preemptiveness. This is just all of his DPS gear that he needs to have on for fighting the boss. And let's see, 75% HP and defense. This is the Repel Ring that is critically important. So he definitely needs to have that. We have the Rejuvenating Cloak. We have a Haste Helm, which is a big upgrade over this. And we have 11 million, so I'm going to go ahead and unequip that. That's fine. I'll put it back on later, but for now, because of the fact that we're in a position where defense is everything, all that matters is whether I manage to survive through this whole place. I'm going to just do that. So, I think we're ready to try this place. And again, our goal is to get through here ASAP. And this is the wrong way, which sucks because that means that I just messed up twice in terms of direction, but that's okay. Now, Serdrell did get one-shot by this boss, so that's obviously dangerous. So we have to be concerned about that happening again. I should have attacked the other one, actually. Oh shit, I missed. What? Oh, right, because it has Preserve on. God damn it. Do I have any way to increase his damage by a little bit more? What? Okay. For whatever reason, I can't see... Oh, yeah, I can. It's that holy symbol. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I didn't actually spend Komanaton's points. I could spend them on defense, but I don't think that spending them on defense is valuable. I am debating how much I want to spend on magic defense for him, though. I'll just get him up to 800 for now. So, 800 magic defense is quite a significant amount, and I'm hoping that that will be useful eventually. I think I'm going to start pumping points into his physical defense again. Because he can't get the 35%, but he can get a 20%. And the 20% lasts the entire fight. So, I think I need to go down this way. Okay, here we are. So we found the Desecrator. I'm going to go ahead and save into slot 2. We only ran into one fight on the way here, so... Do I want to kill the Desecrator first? I'm going to try to kill this Corpulent Monstrosity first, and I'm going to fail. That Strangling Grip hit for over 4,000 on him, which... not a great sign. That is definitely not a good sign. So I definitely need to kill the boss first. Well, do I? Hard to say, actually. The other question is, does Knucklebreaker do more damage or less damage? That's more. Holy shit, that's a lot more. This guy uses mostly like single target physical. So since he uses mostly single target physical, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the fight with Nirvana. Or not Nirvana, sorry. The plus 500 agility thing. And then I am going to put everyone else in the back row. Because I can't really heal anyone else. But I can heal him. And if he has plus 5,000 agility, that will hopefully be enough. Okay, execution came out on him, and that's... So, Black Spear comes out and does a shit ton of damage. That was magic damage, too. That Black Spear is a big deal. Okay, so that didn't work. I was hoping to take a look and see how much damage I had done, but I guess I'm just going to attack the boss once and see how much damage it is. That is a pretty good amount of damage. I'm not sure if it's enough. I don't know if it's feasible for the boss to miss enough attacks that I can kill it. I mean, it's certainly feasible for me to kill it if I don't care about the other people dying, but I do care about the other people dying. So... I guess if I want, I can open the fight with a Knucklebreaker on the boss. And I can't see how much damage that was. But the Knucklebreaker is nice because it drops physical attack power. So let's try this out. And that is a goodly portion of his life. So him being in the front row isn't going to help me any. I feel like there's a decent chance that this is just not feasible. I need to be more tanky than I am on these characters. Okay, now I am almost 100% positive that this is not going to work on Desecrate, but I'm casting it anyway. Nope, it does not work on Desecrate. Okay, what else can you learn? I don't think these guys can learn any passives that are going to be mattering. Let's see. I could pump my crit. I think that's probably the better option over attack power for now. So Strangling Grip comes out. I'm in the front row, I think, so I'm going to use Mirage. He missed with that. Fuck. So this guy is not hard to get killed. The question is whether I can do it before somebody dies. And when he does die, it does not remove the desecration effect off the rest of the party, which is good to know. So I should have... Shit. Okay, that's fine. He does not appear to have any AoE potential. So, with Sordrell in the front row, if he's got his evasion up, I think that... Oh, wow. That was surprising. So, Commodity just got one shot by a spell. This guy's int is crazy high. Commodity has like 800 magic defense. Oh, yes, I need time to unequip this and replace it with something else. Okay, I'm going to give him the 75 magic defense thing. Basically, the hope is that I can survive long enough. Shit, that was a mistake. Oh, that's fine. Let's see. The hope is that I can survive for long enough that I can take him out. Because it really doesn't take that many rounds. It just requires that he not use Black Spear on Sordrell, that I get my agility buff up, and that he not use Execution on anyone who isn't under the effect of the agility. So he... Ooh, hello. So turn 1 is a bust. We're going to use a Mirage. And then he's going to use a Barrage and hit me straight through all that agility. Which is fine. Black Spirit hits me for 8,200. And we're toast. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a huge amount of options here in terms of like how to get through this fight without dying horribly. It's pretty much just down to luck. So he has about a 50% chance of attacking Sordrell, and I don't know what his accuracy is, but his accuracy is high enough that he's hitting consistently against a target that has over 5,000 agility. You know what would actually be very valuable for this fight is this Bloodlust ability. I didn't have enough to get it even if I hadn't picked up Cleanse. But this would actually be particularly valuable. I might actually want to start pumping his accuracy. I'm not a huge fan of pumping the accuracy up because 50 points of accuracy is still going to cost like over 300 AP. And that's exorbitantly expensive for something that I'm going to have done automatically when I'm actually just going to keep attacking. Am I? No, I'm going to use Mirage. You have to sort of balance out. Like, I had to waste 2 turns at the beginning taking out the first one. You have to determine, like, how many turns can you waste on other things before the boss is just guaranteed to do bad shit to you. Bad shit like that. Ouch. That was fast. The other thing that I could do if I wanted is use Mirage on the first turn instead. The problem with doing Mirage on the first turn is that then I'm not killing that asshole on the first turn. And there goes the execution. If I could get... I feel like if I made my party a bit more durable, yeah, I really think that the agility stat is badly designed. This accuracy formula is very strange. I don't know why you're able to put points into a stat that's so weak. Again, this is plus 5,000 agility. And the only purpose this stat serves is to make you dodge physical attacks. So it's like, if I had devoted every single point that I have into agility, from the beginning of from like level 1, every point, I wouldn't have 2,000 agility, much less 5,000. So you can imagine how completely fucking wasted any points into agility actually are when you're talking about building your character. It's like a total trap. Particularly because, like, thieves use agility for a couple of things, but even they don't actually need agility now, because all they need to do is use their buff on themselves and they're perfectly fine. So, how do I feel about the... I'm not sure how I feel about my odds of victory here. I wish I knew what the actual chance of him hitting me was if I have my agility buff up. Because that would also inform me as to whether it's better for me to use that or to use the attack power reducer. But I think that it's definitely better to use the agility buff. I mean, optimally, I'd be able to use both, but I spent all my AP already. Let's see. So, MP damage comes out. That's 2 misses in a row, which is good, but unfortunately, it took me 2 hits. So I'm 1 turn ahead, basically. Okay. Fuck. If that had come out to anybody else, it would have been fine, but... And that's the fundamental concern is, if I have him in the front row, then any black spears automatically kill me. So how close am I? He's a little under half-life when the first death comes out. Everybody else is at, like, half-life. This is a rough fight. I really wish that this monstrosity wasn't here. I feel like that corpulent monstrosity adds an unnecessary addition to the fight. But seriously? All those misses? Okay. Fuck. Oh man, I only needed a couple more rounds there, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. So, this is as good as the first turn can go. I'm going to use a Mirage. He uses a barrage and instantly smacks me for most of my life. I'm gonna use that and he kills me. I wish I knew what his probability of using Black Spear was. That is unfortunate. So we've unfortunately already gone through his second life. I'm going to use Knuckle Breaker and miss. Oh shit, that miss. Okay. I'm just going to reload. I just wasted 2 turns and already lost 1 life. There's no reason to continue this because I haven't made any progress. So... Do I feel like there's a remotely reasonable probability of me succeeding here? I think I'm going to give it 5 more attempts, and we'll see. So, if I can't get it in the next 5 attempts, I'm just going to move on to something else. Because it's hard for me to like calculate what my odds of winning are if I don't know what the probability of him using things like the spear is. If he uses the spear an average of once per fight, that cuts my odds of winning to 50%, because as soon as he uses a spear on Sordrell, it kills him instantly. That kind of stuff is very important. Unfortunately, I just don't know. And I can't use HP increasers now. I could one thing that I could try if I was willing to, and it actually wouldn't be too difficult for me to do. Use a Knuckle Breaker. Was that a crit? Oh yeah, of course it was a crit. Everything I do is a crit. So this is 3. I want to see how many turns he takes to die. 4. And And that he wasn't dead, unfortunately, so I don't know. Okay, so this is going to be the last attempt. I think this might only be 4, but I'm going to make this my last attempt because I want to change up my gear set, and that means reloading to the other one. I'm going to make more attempts on this boss. But I need to do some gear swaps. So first of all, we're going back to slot 1, and we're now outside. So what we can do is we can give him, instead of this one, we can give him the bubble ring. Okay, so the bubble ring I think is a good option for him. Now, as for him, he needs to have the repel ring on right now, but he can unequip that later. So let's figure out what he's going to have on then. Okay, this is a good one to have. So instead of the protector ring on him, which isn't really going to do a huge amount, do I have anything that gives HP in something else? I have the expert ring that gives him 1100 extra HP. So let's go ahead and equip that, and then we can give him, or give this guy the other ring. But what I'm actually going to do is, before I do this is the wrong one. I'm actually going to give him this. Actually, no, I can't do that. Okay, so he has 5600 HP. That's just going to have to be his HP tally at the end. And our goal here is going to be to just survive. So I'll give him something with magic defense or something. So the place that we're going first, straight north. That is a really unfortunate pack. I'm just going to reload. I can't fight something like that and then fight the boss, because I can't heal anybody in the party, so we need to have a smaller pack where they don't do very much damage, and then I move on from there. Also, do I want the 75? I don't think I want the 75 attack bar. I needed that for some specific enemy, but we want... Oh, right. I could give myself... If I gave myself 75 accuracy, that might be useful. But I think I want to give myself attack and crit. So that should increase my damage output. And this is before I leveled him up. I don't think I want accuracy. I think I'm gonna... devote it all to crit. So we now have an 80% chance of getting the higher crit value. Okay, so this is better, question mark? Okay, we should be okay. This is not a huge amount of damage that's been taken. So we should be in a okay position. Okay, so we're saving this in slot 2. We're going to equip Veron with something that doesn't increase HP, because there's no reason to increase his HP. Do we have anything that increases... Doesn't look like we have any other defense increasers. Okay, I think we're going to give him... Where's the... There it is. Give him that. Now let's take a look. Everybody has a sufficiently large HP and etc. value. I'm going to try... Oops. Going to... Where is it? Roses? I'm going to put him in the front. I'm going to put Veron in the back. And the reason that I'm putting him in the front is with him in the front, I think we'll be able to do some good business. Now, we've established that I do not have enough magic defense for this enemy, which means that I do not have enough magic defense generally, so we're just going to pump all of these points into magic defense. And that's going to be fine. We're going to save the game again in slot 1. And we've got all of... this resolved. Let's try this again. Okay, we unfortunately did not manage to kill that thing, and it used preserve, so it's back up to full. I did not put the agility buff on him. Jeez, I'm missing a lot. Alright, so I guess I should have put the agility buff on him. Okay. I was hopeful that I could just burst the boss down. I think that I have enough HP to handle this boss now. Commoniton obviously can't handle too much more like that. I'm going to use a Knuckle Breaker, and I'm going to fail. So I think Knuckle Breaker might be a iffy investment. And we got a nuke on Veron, which is good, because he's very unlikely to get hit again. So we're not doing Knuckle Breaker anymore. I don't think it's worth it. We're going to instead use the other thing. But this actually should be relatively simple now. There's not... the boss is basically going to have to hit Commoniton twice with melee attacks, or 3 times if any of those attacks is a spell. And Oberon is going to take a lot more than that. So I actually have a lot of space to kill the boss in. So it's going to take a few attempts, but I can do it. Whereas the previous playthrough, I just didn't, or the previous attempt, I just didn't have enough HP to do it. There was not enough total durability on my party to finish the fight. Plus 500 agility, but dead. This, by the way, is why I was using that other thing. Is because the agility thing is honestly so inconsistent that I feel like just getting the fucking damage out, even ignoring the attack power reducer, might actually just be more valuable. The problem is that I keep missing with it, which costs me a turn and gets me nothing, but I think that it is better to just use the DPS move. Just because the Mirage ability is just... it's just not good enough. Okay. Fortunately, Commoditon is one-shottable right now. And it happened. And the Desecrator is going to go down this turn. So as you can see, the boss is going down pretty fast. It just takes... it just takes a little bit to get him down. So I'm going to try this one more time. And hopefully this will be the last time, but not likely with that kind of a start. And again, we've already demonstrated that if one character goes down and I just use one character as the fall guy, it's actually really easy to kill this. I've already killed this boss twice, and I've reloaded almost every single time a single character has died. So it doesn't take a significant amount of luck for me to get it to be able to kill it without Swordrell dying. Especially if I were to put Swordrell in the back row. And I'm actually thinking that that might be what I want to do. Is just slap him in the back row. And that way he only takes one hit in the fight. And let the people who are a little bit more tanky stand in the front. Well, I missed the Knuckle Breaker. And if I hadn't missed so many attacks that round, I actually would have won. If I hadn't missed the first initial hit, I would have killed him like 2 rounds ago. And if I hadn't missed half of the attacks on that last round, I think I actually would have killed him. No, I mean, I would have had to hit with every one of those attacks that missed, but at least in that round. Okay, that's a miss, which is good. Damn. Oh my god, look at that HP! Oh, that was so close. Oh, life is so sad. It's so sad. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I just missed with the knuckle thing again. If I can get the knuckle sandwich in there, it'll be good. I'm actually going to use normal attacks. I'm not going to be using my macro because I just noticed something as I was fighting this boss about the macro, which is that the macro is actually getting the guard command through. So all of my party members who are crowd controlled are actually guarding if I use the macro, and they're not if I don't use the macro. So I should not be using the macro because it's basically cheating. I'm basically getting a command off that I shouldn't be able to get off because they're crowd controlled. That's a nice crit. And that does change the math for me as well. Because that means that my party is going to be taking twice as much damage. So, if that attack had gone to one other person instead, it would have been fine. So... oh, that at least ends it quickly. You know, I actually think the Faultless Ring is a better bargain for this slot. I can't unequip this Valor Ring because I need the HP. But I'm going to try this with 75 extra attack accuracy. Because that'll increase the number of hits that I get to 8. And it also increases the chance of hitting with Knuckle Breaker. Dramatically lowers the damage if I don't get my proper hit, though. But the other thing is that this guy's been dodging a lot of my attacks. So I might even want to put 2 of them on and just say fuck it for his HP. If he's in the back row, I don't actually have to give a shit about his HP, because if the boss hits him, then he's dead. But right now, if the boss hits him, he's basically dead anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to swap this out. Do I want to, though? That's a lot of damage to leave on the floor. That's dropping... oh, that is dropping a lot of damage per hit. I'm going to try it, and we'll see with... this, because this gives me 2 additional attacks. 2 additional attacks and increased accuracy probably is worth it. I shouldn't be using Knuckle Breaker, honestly. That is so many misses. Oh my god. I just missed half my attacks there. It really is hard to say. This drops my crit chance to only 20%. But it's a 20% chance of getting an additional 30% damage. I think... I prefer the Faultless Ring for now. I'll save this. Use a Mirage. Just 3 barrages straight to Oberon. So, the reason that I was letting that fight go on so long is that I was just trying to get a feel for how many hits this guy takes. He doesn't really take that many hits to kill. So, I just need to get any degree of consistency. I do think the Knuckle Breaker is worth it. Because in addition to dealing a lot of damage, it does over 1 turn's worth of damage, so it still does more than a turn's worth of damage, even with all these attacks that I have. Well, I say that, but basically that's if it misses, then it misses, and I don't do anything. But if it hits, I do over a turn's worth of damage. So Black Spear comes out on Commonoton. That's rad. He would have survived that if he still had the HP, but he doesn't. So is he in the front row? No, he's in the back row. So we have a standard boss setup from before, and he goes again instantly. Back row hitter. And a normal physical attack will also kill him, so that's good to know. So it's 3 times in a row, I think, that he's been attacked on... Alright, so... Commonoton is not one-shottable. Oh, there we go, with attacking the back row characters again. Okay. I'm actually going to put him in the middle row to further reduce the chances of him getting hit. That was a critical hit to the face, so let's go ahead and reload this. Whew. I was expecting to have gotten this done by now, actually. I feel like I've been getting some particularly bad luck on some of these attempts. Like, how many times is this boss just going to one-shot Sword Draw on the first turn? I mean, it's better to one-shot Sword Draw on the first turn than on turn 4, but it's... Considering the way that I have the rows set up, it's pretty depressing. Okay, the execution comes out. What the hell, man? What are these misses? So I needed 2 more turns, and I don't have anywhere near that much HP. Without using macros to get the guard off, it changes the battle dramatically. Turns out. So if he attacks Oberon, I think I win. That's it. Okay. Whew. That extra life on Oberon has saved the day. We can go in here. I'm going to save this into slot 3. Can I heal at this thing? No. So... I'd like to at least make an attempt to get through here. I was not expecting that this dungeon was going to have so much more in it. That's not good. I need to kill those things first. I think they just spam Umbra. Oh, I don't have the repel ring on. Let's go ahead and equip the repel ring. So there's a chest up here. Let me go ahead and just say it's up 3. There's another one? Okay, so I have to figure out what that is. So there's 2 of these things, which means I'm not sure why I keep running into such big packs now. Because before I wasn't hitting this many targets. I'm gonna have to reload to the lower floor. That's a guarantee, but the question is whether I can fight one pack, get one pack dealt with, and then fight this boss and see if it's the same thing. If it's the same thing, I can conceivably finish this. If it's any stronger than that previous one, I don't see how on earth I would be able to do it. But yeah, it does look like... It looks like this area has more packs that are larger than before. Because before I was running into mostly 1 and 2, I thought. And here I'm running into some really large packs. I'm an idiot, aren't I? I'm gonna just try to clear these out and fight this boss now. So this is the same fight, only with one extra one of these corpulent things, I think. I'm gonna confirm. Whoops, shit, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. Okay, so this Desecrator is going to be a little bit harder than the other Desecrator. Unfortunately, I don't think I saved over slot 2 when I finished the boss. I think I saved in slot 3, and I just am an idiot who miscalculated. So, is that correct? Yes, it is. Which means that if I want to do this, I'm going to have to fight this boss again, kill it, and then manage to fight my way. I'm going to have to go back downstairs after I fight this boss, and then fight my way through the entire pagoda to get to the top on a second attempt. I don't think it's feasible. If that Desecrator was the final thing, I think it would be fine. With this setup, though, I need more before I can do this. So we're going to change my equipment setup again. He doesn't need this because he can use the invisibility cloak. What was he wearing anyway? Was he wearing this? Oh, he was wearing the haste hat, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna give him the raiding helm for now. He was actually wearing the golden helm, which I'm happy to keep with him. As for him, do I want... I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, so... Okay, so we're done making attempts on this pagoda for now. We'll come back when we're a little bit more strong. We need to get a little bit of extra damage on this black belt. So, what are the key things that we need for him? He actually has a huge amount of HP regen already. And he has sort of an arbitrarily large amount of HP regen on boss fights. So I'm going to give him a little bit more HP, because if I can get him up to 10,000 hit points, it'll be a lot harder for enemies to one-shot him. And if enemies can't one-shot him, then they're going to have a very difficult time killing him. And did I bring my boat over like I intended? Or did I do the thing wrong again? Knowing me, I probably did it wrong again. Okay, let's take a look. Nope, I brought my ship over like it was a sensible human being. So let's do this the way that I'm supposed to go, if at all possible. But yeah, as long as Sordrell is as long as he's dealing damage and he's not getting one shot, it's very hard for him to take damage now. He regens so damn fast. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna have to head to an inn eventually, but not necessarily immediately. So we finished with Ugbar for now. I can't get over there, so I'm not going to go there. And I could go to the Sacred Tree and finish exploring that. Is that what I want to do? So So there's an item over here that I could get. Oh, I haven't finished my radar collection, have I? So we finished radaring this island. The other thing that I could do is I could try doing... I've gained some levels. A little bit of defense. I could try the arena again. So Silencing Strike comes out, the kill comes out. Holy shit. That dealt more damage than I expected it to. I think he's boned. I think he's gonna die here. Yep. That was a 20%. I forgot about that. So I should have killed that serpent instead of just assuming I'd be fine. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. So the other thing that I need to do is I need to figure out, and I think I can actually figure this out easily. So let's take a look at my remains. So I need for the Grey Mage to get access to, what was it, Spirit Coal? So this is from a Magma Spirit. And then I can look at my bestiary, and I can find out hopefully I can find out where the Magma Spirits are. It's a Mystic, not a Magma. Okay, so this is a Magma Spirit. So I do not know the location. But it has to be at some fireplace. There's... I wonder if I can run into random encounters there if I just pop over there. I'm gonna save.
Bottom, bum, bottom, bum, bottom, bum.
So what am I going to do about... Yeah, we're going to basically just pop over here. We're going to equip the lure ring once we're in there, and we're going to see whether we can aggro things. Because I think there was some guard that was preventing me from progressing further or something like that. So it was this that was preventing me from moving on. I'm going to just unequip the repel ring. Are there hostiles here? Doesn't look like it. So that is for like gray mage stuff, so my assumption is that it's not there that I need to be. So let's find another volcano if we can. I have no idea. Because there's a volcano here, but I can't get to this island yet. Wait, I just remembered something. This cave is probably where it is. It's probably in the spiral cave. Now, the reason that I say that is because when I saw the whole flashback, that whole flashback, at the very bottom, there was magma. So that's probably it. So we're going to the spiral cave. We need to go to where first? I think I'm going to go to Westonia first. Just because I want to rest, and I don't want to head all the way to Theopolis. So, I think we can do this. I could also try the rank 3 escort. But I don't think that that's going to be a good idea. So, also, do I want... I don't think so. It's a little bit tempting to get some mana on my monk, but to be perfectly honest, he should be spending his turns dealing damage. He should not be spending his turns casting any of the stuff that he has access to. So hopefully we don't get bleed on anybody, but... Okay, so sure, we'll just get bleed on 2 people. That's fine. So he's going to cast a Cure 4 on himself. So he obviously has the wrong equipment equipped because he had way more healing than that before. Oh, he had his int reduced. I forgot. Okay, so the harpy used an int reduction. Alright, so we're in the spiral cave. And we should be able to warp out of here because I don't have my Grey Mage in cap, so that's good. So this is just the enemies from outside. I would love, and I mean this would be ridiculously overpowered, but it would still make me so happy, if there was some ability somewhere, like either some piece of like ring or whatever, that would allow overflow healing to just split between the party and just turn the monk into the primary party healer as he just heals in an AoE instead because he's always at full HP. I think that would be pretty badass. Ludicrously overpowered. So I don't actually want it, but it'd still be cool. As you enter the huge lava-filled chamber, the sulfurous air ignites your senses. You're overcome by a vision of the past. No!
Come to me, insects.
Yes, master. Oh, shit. Haha, yes. Your weak minds will serve me well. How on earth did they just jump onto those people who fell in? Continue to my temple, maggots. Yes, master. Oh, shit. Obey me and give purpose to your meaningless lives. I'll be the god of this world. Now show me your uttered obedience. Yes, master. Nothing can stop me. So they all just jumped into the lava. So this area should presumably have new enemy types. Dark Knight's armor. That sounds useful. Because I have a Dark Knight. Ruby gauntlets. Okay. And here we go. We've got the Magma Spirits we're looking for. So we're going to use a Silencing Strike. Unearthly Flame does nothing. That's the wrong one. But all of the AoE damage that goes into Sordrell is now a complete non-issue. So that's cool. And let's take a look here. What's in here? Okay, we can use the liquid explosives. So this is clearly at least a path onward. I don't really want to be here. I should not have done that. I'm taking chip damage, no. Ooh, hello. Alright, so we're gonna go back down here. Go back over here. I have multiple of these liquid explosives. That is a lot of damage. The problem with Silencing Strike is that what I actually want is just the AoE portion, just the AoE strike. I don't really want to silence them because I want them to use a spell after their int is reduced. Oh, so did I... Ooh, a Goring Shield? That's probably not that interesting. A Goring Shield almost definitely just increases either attack power or crit. Oh, and then it uses Preserve. That's even better for me. Here we go. So that one's done. Now I just need to go over here. Get this one done. Let's save the game. 20 grand. Remedy. Oh, excuse me. And I've already been here, so I just need to go over this way. And unfortunately, we just got survived. We just got surprised. Oh, great, I missed. So we now need to purify. I don't know that I need to heal the Dark Knight. Not right now. He's got a lot of HP right now. Okay, we already went this way. We're now going to go further to the left, go up. Okay, so this is probably the way onward. It is not. Well, it is, yes. So this is the way onward. But before I can come here, I need to throw the lava down. So we can go over there and do that. Let's go down south first. Unfortunately, I just got surprised again, so I might just die here. Does not look like it. Could use a silencing strike and miss everything. Okay, we got the double stun. So Mana Surge comes out, and we're going to use a Holy Heal. Okay, we can just... Unfortunately, with the Darkness effect on Varan, he's not going to be able to do his job of silencing. Or, well, inflicting stat debuffs anyway. I feel like there might be other uses for the liquid explosives, so I'm hesitant to use that right now. So we have to just wait for the darkness effect to wear off. Well, good luck with that. I'm gonna do a Mana Surge again. So I don't even have to worry about attacking here. Do I want to use this? I'm gonna use a Cure for. The other characters aren't dangerously injured enough to justify the additional mana cost in healing them. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that. Nice! That's cool. Okay, so we've got a boss here. I'm going to use Plan of Attack. I'm going to use Human Shield. I'm going to use Hamstring. I missed the Hamstring. Oh, right, I can't Hamstring. Hamstring's going to require hitting it. Holy shit. That was a heavy hit. Given how much damage that did, I'm going to actually use Invincible on him. And he's still got Darkness. I'm going to use Behind Enemy Lines. Okay, he just got paralyzed. Took, I think, 2 points of damage. If it uses its AoE again, I'm dead. So I'm not that concerned about. Okay, try to do this. Okay, we took it out. Whew. So we took out the lava worm. No problem. I apparently got an achievement for that, so that might not have been required to kill. Take solace from these engravings I have ventured here. Place this proud stone in. Venire willing, return to the landscapes of Firmer. Take only what you need An emergent firm has the missionary of courage to guard our world against the savagery of darkness. And no items are found. It appears that this luckless, greedy fellow squeezed through the crevice, yet could not escape. Khan's rations are scattered amongst the bones. Perhaps some rations could be left behind. Alright. How do I get there? Did I miss that outlet somewhere? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. Fortunately, I'm surprised. Using a Mana Surge. Silencing Strike. And I fail. Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about the blind. I'm having a lot more difficulty in here than I would have expected. Oh shit. I guess a large portion of it is just that I keep getting ambushed. So Ruby Armor, Rejuvenating Elixir. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this whole place in one go, because I might just not have the mana for it, because I'm taking so much damage. So I don't see a pathway there. Can we keep going up? This place is absolutely massive. Well, I think I'm boned. And he's not going to be able to get off a thingamabobber, so we're just going to try this. Unfortunately, they're all faster than Komanaton, so particularly sad because that would have definitely finished me up in terms of the whatchamacallits. In terms of the things that I need to kill. Let's see. For the Grey Mage. And particularly since I am almost definitely going to need the... I don't need to come this way, I already went this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Yeah, the dungeons are way bigger in this game than the previous one, which I think is pretty cool. I think that having these big dungeons is kind of cool and nice, especially since you have access to the Repel Ring by the time you start getting to the really massive dungeons. The fact that Varan is blind right now is a huge, huge issue. Oh shit, I didn't use Mana Surge first? Oopsie doopsie. I don't need another Holy Heal, do I? I'm gonna cast this on Oberon. Ambrosia and Nectar. Okay, so we only have 300 mana left. I'm wondering, how many of these things do we have now? Okay, we only have 4 Spirit Coals, so we do need to kill at least one more of the little fire guys. The bomb things. None of these are the bomb looking things. Holy shit. That was unexpected. Wham, wham. Dead. Let's reload the game. So... So he has to Warcry, otherwise there's no way on earth I'm going to survive. Nope. That's not work out for me. Excuse me. So... let's keep on going. So we now need to backtrack considerably. And I'm surprised again. And Veronica. Had to wait out their entire turn to get to there, but we got there eventually. I know what I need to do. The probability of something getting a preemptive strike on you is based off your preempt stats. I just realized that he has this nonsense on instead of the stuff he needs to have, so we're going to give... instead of the Shepherd Ring, we're going to give the Clandestine Ring to him. That increases his accuracy, which is good for him, as well as a pretty massive boost to his agility and his preempt. And as for him, he wants agility and preempt. Any other... and 75 preempt. And... there we go. So hopefully this will reduce the chance of the enemies getting a preemptive strike on me. And it's always good when a single target decides to just attack my monk, because with one target hitting the monk, he's just going to regen back up by the end of the fight. So that's a very nice way for the fight to go. So this just goes to that other place, I think. Okay, so I'm going to try going up here and see if this leads. I think it does. So Silencing Strike comes out. We missed one of the skeletons. So Malevolent Intent comes out. Toxic Vapors comes out. You go ahead and kill this. Do a Healing Steel. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and Purify because we can. Bum, ba, da, bum, 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 ba, da, ba, 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 ba. The other thing is that he doesn't actually need this to get kills, I don't think, so I'm going to give him the experience ring again. The monk getting the experience ring really should have a massive impact by the time I finish the game. I'm going to be getting a lot of experience over the course of the game, and if he has the EXP ring, he's eventually going to get enough stats that it basically replaces the ring that he would otherwise have on. There we go. So this is a super, super critical location. So, like, if you can imagine, every time he gets experience and doesn't have that ring equipped, he's lowering his, like, future stats by a tiny, tiny bit. Not by a lot, but by a tiny bit. And by stacking... sorry, not stacking, but by basically equipping this ring and maintaining it as much as possible, he's going to be improving his, you know, permanent stat pool. So... This boss might be really easy, and if the boss is really easy, then I'll be okay. If the boss isn't really easy, I'm going to have to warp out of here. I do think I'm relatively close to finishing. Don't think there's that many more places that they could be hiding stuff. But it is kind of funny, actually, that... Oh, here. Let's see. Okay, so what do I want to kill first? Hellhound, I think. Because Varan is almost out of mana, which... shouldn't matter too much for the boss, necessarily. Oh, that's unfortunate. But it will matter for other stuff. And it might matter for the boss, but this boss is probably a nuker. I don't imagine it's going to be a physical attacker based off of its appearance. That would be weird for it to be a physical attacker. And if it isn't a physical attacker, then Varan's abilities don't really need to get used very much. He doesn't have... Shit. Those guys are very fast. And hit quite hard. What is up here? Did I already look up here? I've already been up here. Okay, since I've already been up here, I'm pretty sure these are the two things that I just did. We're going to go over here. Save the game. I don't remember which direction I'm going now. This is the exit. Okay. So, what is over here? This place. Do I just want to use... Yes. So I need 2 for this. Ooh, where does this go? Is it a puzzle? So the goal is just to get these to here. Which means that I need... Do I need to get 2 on for here, or only 1? So... We're trying to basically shove something. It needs to land here. Oh, that's easy enough. Do I need 2, or is 1 enough? Okay. So that changes things. Okay, I need to reset the puzzle. So this thing needs to go first. Okay, so this one goes first. Followed by this one. Save the game. That is a long ass trip. So so it's not to the green stuff. Okay, I need to get them here. So that means that I need to hit this. So from here, where would be, it would have to go to here. So here, from here. So what would allow me a straight shot? Going up. So, okay, so here, here. I can't go from here. So anywhere along the edge here maybe, but I think I might be able to shove these off the edge. So from here, oh no, I can do this. So I just go to here. And that means Probably here, here. Okay. So I now have an idea of where I'm taking this. The question is, how do I get both of them to this space? I can send this one all the way to here. Then I can't send it down, and I can't send it up. So that's definitely not where I need to send that. Let's see. Okay, so I don't actually not need either of these for each other, because I can do this, which gets them both in the same area, right? So I don't need to use either rock for the other rock. So I think that this is where I'm going. Yes. This one is quite long, but it's also quite intuitive. So I'm going to save this just in case I accidentally push this incorrectly, but that's relatively unlikely. The path here is pretty obvious. You're not given a lot of options. So a lot of these kinds of puzzles can seem harder than they actually are, because all you have to do is look at the puzzle and say, which one of these is possible to be the right choice, right? And sometimes you only have like one option for half of the puzzle. So it might seem like a reasonably complicated puzzle, but then once you get started, you're like, oh, well, I can't do anything other than the correct choice because it's an instant game over. So what's over here? This is presumably the boss. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting the boss to be here. And I have this thing to get still. So now we know how to get here without the explosions. I feel like, given my current resources, I'm going to have to come back in here to finish the exploration. But I can make an attempt on the boss with my current resources, and if the boss is easy enough, then I'll just be able to take it out. Assuming I can get to the boss in the first place. My guess is that I'm going to be way too low on resources to take out this boss. But it's hard to tell, because the other boss was actually reasonably simple to deal with, so you never know. Okay, that is not what I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see a shadow. Let's see how hard it hits. Cautiously approach the monstrous beast in front of the ancient altar. With little warning, you're enveloped in vision. After the Venire isolated the Pitlurians within Mount Agni, the young races bound together in mutual cause of world peace. Yet for the passage of 10,000 years, the urgent desire for unity faded, and history's solid lessons dissolved into myth. The races again fell into tribal bickering, and eventually skirmishes between the races increased in intensity. The most devastating conflicts were collectively called the Great War, and the cause for peace was renewed. General, thank you. You here to call Goblin, young and old. Do you think war really over? Yes, me think war finally over, but we still prepared for worse. Sorry, must meet King Manza. Border outpost fully manned, King Manza. Goblin ready if treacherous human or elf break peace treaty. Good, good. First meeting of World Council approach soon. Is Royal Guard ready for meeting in Estonia? Yes, Royal Guard fully prepared. All hands selected. You be safe if human or elf try to break treaty. You help by being head guard. It be my honor. Good. Me have other business. Me meet you there later. Yes, King. Demolish the border outposts? Are you mad? And have the elves and goblins rush through them our undefended ports? Why don't we just surrender them now and abdicate our rule? Enough with the hyperbole. The Great War is over and the border outposts achieved nothing more than the preservation of those tensions. Given recent advances in siege weaponry, the border outposts wouldn't stop an elven or goblin assault even if we had months to prepare. Plus, Westonia is made stronger by the many elves and humans who already live with it in the city guard's confines. The border outposts should remain standing and garrisoned with soldiers not because they will protect us, but because they will make the citizens of Orphos feel safe. And while they serve as an unwelcome reminder of the Great War, our citizens will not forget simply by demolishing the border outposts. 2-1, Alexander. Consider your view overruled. Martin, is your guard prepared for the World Council meeting in Estonia? Yes, the Orphean generals initially suggested a force of 100 soldiers, but I had to rein them back to what they consider a meager force of 20 guards. 100 soldiers? That's a good way to start another war. I don't know, 100 soldiers isn't really enough to start a war. But damn what the elves or goblins think. They should understand being wary. I'm sorry, but I must prepare my notes for the World Council meeting. The force will remain at 20. Please excuse me. Your Majesties, are the preparations for the World Council going according to schedule? Yes, Your Majesty. The garrison for the World Outposts has been doubled, and General Sulor has selected our most elite warriors to serve as your royal guard while you visit Westonia. Split the royal guard and leave half here with the queen. But Your Majesty, we've already selected a group of highly trained warriors to stay in Valundra and protect the city. Please, my love, take the royal guard in its entirety. If anything should befall you, grief would follow me for the rest of my days. As it would if I lost you, and that is why half the royal guard must stay here to protect you. I fear that those with whom you have broken peace would strive to deal the most painful blow against Holdra. And it would not be my death. It would be the Elan who they would target. Do not argue, half the royal guard stands here. Yes, Your Majesty. Please be careful, my love, while I'm in Westonia. My lord, thank you for granting me an audience. What is it that could not wait until the next gathering? A delicate subject, my lord. I wanted to discuss it with you privately, because I do not know who can be trusted. The subject? The Venire Pact, my lord. Many of the younger Pilurians are born far after the Pact and have begun to doubt its authenticity. Only you, gifted with extreme longevity, live to remember that day. Ha! Extreme longevity, my curse. A trick of the Venire, no doubt, to ensure our obedience to that accursed pact. Tell me, Laborus, for what purpose would I invent this pact and imprison my own people? Some say you're weak, my lord. Weak? These are not my words, my lord, but they believe that you fear the overworlders and hide here for protection. They say the elves forced you back to this blessed mountain centuries ago and slew your own offspring to subdue you to their will. Who speaks these lies? That's the problem, my lord. The instigators of this heresy are still unknown. I only hear rumors of rumors. Fools! They unknowingly tempt the extermination of our race. Such conspirators must be found and executed before this plague of lies spreads. Verily, I tell you, the Venire will know if we open the gates and depart this blessed mountain. As you say, my lord, so it must be true. And then he attacks. Olivier. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to start us off with a Knuckle Breaker, and we're going to start off with Plan of Attack, because Plan of Attack's always great. We're going to start out with a Human Shield, because he's probably going to die, but he might not. Hamstring's out, Knuckle Breaker's out, Human Shield is out, Plan of Attack is out, and he used Corrupt Protection to increase his own survivability. which gives us ample opportunity to cast either Mystic Concealment. I'm going to cast a Mana Surge. He's going to use a Ground Slam, and he's going to use Behind Enemy Lines. So with both of these out, along with the Ground Slam, it's my hope... Oh god! That Firestorm hit hard. And we didn't get the Ground Slam off, and we're kind of fucked, but that's okay. I'm going to use Covert Ops. I'm basically just going to try to see what I can steal from him. So Mental Anguish does MP damage. And we're going to use a Healing Steel. And that's not what I wanted. So Firestorm is his primary damage move. He has Solar Flare as well. So he has a lot of, like, fire nukes. He has the ability to steal my mana. And he has the ability to get a single target big nuke with his thinger. Okay, he doesn't have that debuff on him anymore. So what we're going to try to do... I actually shouldn't be using Behind Enemy Lines. This boss doesn't seem to use physical attacks very much. So what I'm going to try for... Can I kill this boss? I can kill this boss. That's actually... Sorry, I should be more clear. I can kill this boss and relatively easily. The question is whether I can kill it with 289 mana on my healer. And that is harder to tell. So, unfortunately, we don't get Team Player until 150. That's a long way away. And let's see. I'm actually curious whether this does what it says it does, or whether it actually increases my stats for the purposes of determining that by 5 times, because there's a big difference between those two things. So Criminal Intentions requires Dancing Daggers. I'm going to go ahead and grab Slash and Grab. We're going to grab Dancing Daggers. And Criminal Intentions is going to be nice for preventing myself from getting blown up by certain effects. As for my party, do I want... Oops, god damn it. I'm going to reload. I don't want to watch that whole cutscene again. Let's see. What am I going to do? By the way, I love that they give you the option to just skip the cutscene right at the beginning, because I wouldn't want to skip the cutscenes from a perspective of, like, you know, doing a singular playthrough. I would always want to watch the cutscenes the first time. Even if I've already seen them before, like, the first time that I get them on a given run, I'm always going to want to see them. But if you're fighting a boss, you don't want to have to watch it over and over and over again as you die over and over again. He's using Mana Surge. Is that the right choice? I'm going to use Mana Surge because he has very little mana. We're going to use Mana Surge on him as well. We're going to use Hamstring. The Hamstring goes out. Knuckle Breaker goes out. Solar Flare comes out. It does not kill anybody. And those two are slower than the boss. That surprised me. I'm going to use a Holy Heal. And he's going to use... Warcry. So rather than Behind Enemy Lines, I'm actually going to use Invisibility Cloak. Invisibility Cloak increases his agility by 100 or by 1500, which also reduces the enemy's stats by a big amount. So we're going to use Plan of Attack. We're going to use the Ground Slam, I guess. And we're going to use Covert Ops. So we now got 2,500 extra agility, which should decrease his stats by a considerable margin. He gets the Incinerate off. That was with the magic defense reduction. I don't think I can do it with this amount of mana. I just don't. I don't think I have enough. He's going to take a considerable amount of time to burn it. Well, maybe I can. I think I'll try it like this. So if we can cast a Cure 4 on him, and now we'll see. So we need a Mana Surge. He's going to cast... I don't think that he needs to cast that other thing. I think he needs to get shit started as quickly as possible. We're going to Warcry. We're going to Hamstring. The Hamstring goes off. Knucklebreaker goes off. Firestorm comes out and insta-gives Komanatin, which is unfortunate. And let's see. If I use Destroy Armor on this guy, how quick do I start pumping him down? So he can use Malicious Concentration. And that's trouble, because if he can use Malicious Concentration, that means that he's going to be hitting for a lot of damage with his spells. I don't think this is feasible. I need to come back here with more of my resources. So we're going to go ahead and load this. We are going to... I'm just going to warp out. I don't really have a lot of mana. And if I do a little bit of exploration next time, it's fine. I'll still be able to come through it fine. So we're going to go ahead and save the game and just pop over to Westonia. I have the ability now to turn in the other thing. Use Mana Surge. That's what I cast, right? Yep. He's going to cast a Cure 4 on himself. He is going to re-Warcry. And we're going to use a Healing Steel. Got the double stun. I should have attacked the other one. There we go. So we're not going to Theopolis. We're going to the other place. And can we get to Westonia without running into any counters? Probably not, but we can get reasonably close, I think. I'm so glad we have this repel ring. Oh my god. I like the combat in this game, but with it on grind, traveling from point A to point B is just way too slow. But interestingly enough, I find it like I'm thinking about like the other like whatchamacallit, the other settings. I think it's the base speed of getting into an encounter is like 50, then 100, then 150 steps. I can only imagine with the lowest encounter rate and a repel ring, that you could probably clear out an entire dungeon without actually running into a random encounter if you wanted. And if you equip the lure ring, you're getting it to the relatively fast speed that you have on grind normally. So that might actually be really, really cool and valuable. It would be interesting to see. But, I mean, obviously I'm not going to do it. But it would make things way too easy, but... Wonderful. Ah, yes, I can already tell from the mixture that the cosmic pressure does indeed exist. Let me teach you the spell. As a Grey Mage, I appreciate the power of physical weapons, especially when they are imbued with some magical powers. The synergy of physical and magical attacks is the pinnacle of combat. During my research, I've uncovered the Infernal Sword, the famed weapon of the ancient dwarven warrior. It was lost during an expedition to the treacherous island south of Ugbar. This sword, rivaling the Mitre Tyrfing, was crafted by a master dwarven metallurgist and imbued with elven wizards of Volundro. When exploring the volcanic caves of this unexplored island, a powerful eruption rocked the island and the entire dwarven expedition was killed and the Infernal Sword was lost. Bring me the sword and I'll handsomely reward you. Okay, so that's cool. So what skill did we learn here? We didn't learn that. Let's see. Ah, this is how I check it. Deals damage equal to 50% of current enemy HP, targets all enemies. Huh. I can't imagine that working on bosses, so... It's one of the big problems with the Demi line of spells. There were definitely some good uses for them in certain games. In Final Fantasy VII, if you set up a character correctly, there's a certain area where you run into these whatchamacallits. Oh, there's the log tubes. My brain broke. You run into these enemies that you can morph into like stat increasing items. Since you great magical potential inside you, you may pass. Okay, that's interesting. So that survived getting smacked in the face by an angry monk. I guess I probably should have. So it's casting Hurricane. I wonder what it drops. Angry Spirit Essence. Another one of these dungeons, I see. That's not good. I seem to be on fire. Use Holy Heal. Healing Steel. And that just insta-gimped the whole party. Oopsie daisy. So I'm going to avoid the lava for now. I'll come back here in order to get everything at some point, probably. But I don't think I'm going to run into random encounters. I think I only run into these, like, angry spirits. Oh boy. Okay, so we at least got that thing stunned. Okay, I'm just gonna use a Cure 4. I don't think this is gonna be a huge dungeon. So I'm not super concerned about my mana efficiency. Like, the Pagoda was not large, and the Pagoda isn't even the equivalent here. Because the Pagoda is the third one, not the second one. So we've got 4 of these now. So Silencing Strike comes out, hits more than one of them. Glaciation comes out from that one. 3 physical attacks, which was unfortunate. And let's see. This one I think I missed outright. And since these two aren't going to get the attack off first, it's kind of silly to have them do it. I guess... it's valuable if the effect wears off the other two. And I don't have to have them guard when... Alright, so we should be able to get ourselves mostly topped off here, and we're done. So the Warcry, we can usually kill these in one hit. If we miss a couple of times, we don't kill them, but other than that, we do kill them. We do have the Experience Ring equipped. So this might actually be larger than I thought. So we have Angry Fire Spirits here. That was a lot of damage. Holy shit. Okay, luckily we got the Warcry on one of the targets we needed. He actually can use a fast cure, so let's do that. And he's going to use a Healing Steel. The one that doesn't have the debuff on it already is crowd controlled. So since we don't have to worry about that one for now, use a Mana Surge. We're going to use another Warcry and another Healing Steel. So we got the stun on that one. I'm going to kill this one. We have... what do we want to cast? Cure 4 on him. I'm not actually going to cast Cure 4. I'm going to cast a Holy Heal. Okay, so we got a few more Angry Spirit Essences. We'll cry, and then we will do sounds. Unfortunately, we actually got the silence off on multiple, which means that they're going to be using physical attacks. But... wow. Takes some talent. Okay, Commoditon is not regenerating. That's good to know. Okay. Fuck me. So, it's an item. Oh shit! I think I'm boned here, because I don't think I can... if I had actually gotten my... if I had gotten my window open, I would have been able to... I would have been able to do it, but I didn't manage that. So they do lose interest in me if I get far enough away, which is good to know. Okay, so we can now just cast Cure 4 on everybody. Okay, we're gonna attack these. I was wondering whether I wanted to, and don't think I'm gonna be able to get by them, so got the Silencing Strike off. Gigabolt comes out, Thunderstorm comes out, and there we go. We got a triple stun and we got a quad stun. So with 4 stuns, we can just start. We're gonna Mana Surge. I'm gonna have him continue Warcrying because I think we're near the end, based on the fact that we just ran into a save point. Okay, we got 1 stun. Reapplied. Let's start getting these guys under control. Okay, so we got a double stun on the ones that were not CC'd, which means we can easily kill this. And are we done? Oh, wow, that was fast. So of course I'd miss. We got the double stun. Okay. It's a lot of misses. There we go. I'm gonna save this. We, the spirits of the dead, will not give up our possessions so easily. So there's a furious Magma Spirit. Considering that this is probably going to be a reasonably short fight, I'm going to use this and this. I'm going to use a hamstring. There we go. So Combustion comes out and does a fuck ton of damage. We're going to use a Holy Heal. And unfortunately we just did just about the best we can in terms of reducing his magic damage already. So he's possibly just going to spam Combustion. I want to see what he does other than that. Cast Juggernaut. I'm going to cast Juggernaut. Let's cast Cure 4 on him. Let's cast a Warcry. It occurs to me that increasing his damage actually heals him. So Thermite Plasma is a single target nuke. And it looks like he's only capable of nuking. And I'm not doing that much damage right now. So this is a full-length battle that I have to deal with. And he's hitting me for... He's AoE hitting me for about 1,500 right now, which means that I definitely need to figure out a way to pump up my survivability a bit. We're going to go ahead and pump all of our points into magic defense. Oops. And does he want to increase his HP? Yes, I'm going to increase his HP for now. Now, I can put on a Berserker Ring, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do I need this ring anymore? His mana pool will be lowered a little bit, but not by a lot. I do not need these, so let's give him a Warden Ring and a Harbinger Ring. As for him, I need this ring, actually. So we're going to give him a Harbinger ring as the secondary ring. And let's see. He's got... this and the shield hat. Okay, I think that should make a reasonably large difference in the amount of damage that he takes, at least. Didn't I have... Yes. So I have an element cloak on him, but this only resists ice, wind, and holy. It doesn't actually resist fire, so that's good to know. If I put... Instead of having this Harbinger ring here, if I have the fire ring on, and then equip the other Harbinger ring on him, that might help me more. Okay, how much mana do I need for this fight? I'm wondering whether I want to cure before the fight starts. Okay, so our goal here, I don't need to use Knuckle Breaker. I could start it off with a Nirvana if I want, but I don't think I need to. He has a lot of self-healing. I'm going to pop a Citadel, because I think it'll make a big difference on turn one. We're going to pop... I could pop Invincible on him. I'm going to pop a Warcry instead, because I'm going to be using AoE healing, and I think Oberon isn't going to be the weakest link there. So we're going to use a Hamstring. We get the Hamstring off. Combustion comes out, does 1,000 damage to everyone. Citadel comes out. Warcry comes out. And now we need to start casting stuff like Holy Heal. Holy Heal, Batman. Now, what is he going to cast? He's already used Warcry. He used Dark blah blah blah. And he needs to use Invisibility Cloak. That'll increase his agility, which decreases the enemy's intelligence. Malicious Concentration comes out, which is a little terrifying. Okay, so we've gotten a Holy Heal off. Have we gotten a Plan of Attack off? We have not. Do we need something else? Has he cast Invincibility on himself? I don't think he has. We're going to have him cast what? Dark Ward. That should dramatically reduce the damage he takes, potentially zeroing it out. And we're going to use a Covert Ops because that's another 1,000 agility to hopefully drop this guy's stats even lower. We've got Plan of Attack out. Thermite Plasma comes out on Oberon. He then uses the Dark Ward, so he should be safe, I think. As for him, I think it's time to cast another Holy Heal. He's just going to guard. And how long do we have on Hamstring? 2 more turns. You can use a Healing Steel. So we're now hitting for a very good amount of damage. The question is whether we can keep it up. I'm going to cast Dark Ward on him. Destroy armor. I'm going to Hamstring before it wears off. Combustion comes out, does a lot of damage, but as long as this guy continues using exclusively spells, I think that Commoniton is now invulnerable. So we're going to try casting Mystic Concealment on him first. And we need to recast Warcry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We need to recast Citadel, and we need to recast Warcry, and we need to use a Healing Steel. We got the Ruby Armor. Fuck. He did use a physical attack, which is good to know that he can do. Luckily, he used it on the person who will survive it, kind of. I'm going to use a Mystic Concealment on him. Am I? That's an incredibly dumb thing to do. We're going to use a Holy Heal. And we're going to use what? Guard? Guard sounds like a good plan. And we're going to use a Healing Steel. Unfortunately, we don't have Dark Ward up on Oberon anymore. Oh, he just took another physical hit. So that's interesting. So the boss does have the ability to use physical attacks. And I'm not sure... Yes, we can get Thermite Plasma down to 0. And he can use Hellfire as well. That's a big issue. Plus 10% HP per turn? That's not good. Okay, so... we now have a better idea of what kind of bullshit that he can pull. I'm glad that I just kept that going for a while. So he has the ability to put a degen effect on us. And he has some other nonsense he can do as well. So, what is our goal here? I'm going to take a look at what skills I have available. I can put up Criminal Intentions, which is fine. And let's see. Can he get... he doesn't have... he has the ability to get Bloodlust. So I'm actually going to be using Bloodlust on turn 1 for him. Because that allows him to get some self buffs out. I think what I'm going to do, because I think that this boss, if I can just cast... let's get Bloodlust out. If on turn 1 I can cast a Mana Surge on both of these people, that helps me a lot. So we're going to do that. Bloodlust is coming out. Combustion comes out, does a lot of damage, but doesn't do an unreasonable amount of damage. So with Bloodlust on, I should be doing substantially more damage. We're going to go ahead and use a plan of attack, and we are going to use what? I'm going to use a Dark Ward on him. He is going to use an Invisibility Cloak. So I'm hitting 7 times right now. Runic Corruption comes down. Oh, that's a really nasty one. 25% reduced magic defense. Holy shit. So we're now going to cast Mystic Concealment on him. We're going to use a Human Shield. We're going to use a Covert Ops. So Combustion comes out and does a fuck ton of damage. What am I doing now? Did we cast Citadel at some point? I don't think we did. So do I want to cast Citadel or... yes, I do. So for him, I think that he needs to... have I used Warcry? I haven't. So we're going to use a Warcry. And we've gotten this off. I'm going to go ahead and use a Healing Steel. So he's using Invigorate now, which does give us a free turn, but it also means that he's going to be regenerating a huge amount of HP every round. So we need to get a Juggernaut out. Do we have Dark Ward? Yes. Do we have anything else that needs to be recast? I'm going to go ahead and use a Destroy Armor. And we're going to take a look here. Hamstring has 1 more turn on it. So we are going to use Healing Steel. So I have 10 hits coming out from this combo. 10 hits from this combo means I'm doing 100,000 damage, which means that I'm doing about 50,000... means I'm doing 44,000 damage per round, which is not very much. Let's see here. What are you doing? He can cast Self-Preservation, which is going to last the entire battle, I believe? Yes. So that will help him. As for him, he's got Destroy Armor out. Does he have... I don't know that I need Human Shield anymore. Do I have Dark Ward? I do. So I've used that. I think I'm just going to guard, because I don't think he needs to do anything else right now. As for him, he needs to reapply Hamstring. Holy shit. That is a lot of frickin' damage. Okay, so we are pounding through his regen, which is nice. We've got Citadel for 2 more turns. So I'm going to cast this. We're going to cast a Ground Slam, do we want? We need Dark Ward this round, so let's do Dark Ward. We just applied this, so we've already got those up. We use a Healing Steel. So Thermite Plasma comes out. It doesn't hit Comoniton that hard, which is good, considering he has Malicious Concentration, so... Even with Malicious Concentration, he's not really hitting very hard. Now, what am I doing for my current turn? Do I have Citadel? Yes, I do. So Runic Corruption is also on him. So that guy has an int buff on himself and a magic defense reducer on Comoniton. I'm actually going to guard, because if he can survive this round, I think he'll be taking 0 damage. So we just want to make sure that he doesn't get blown up by a critical of some sort. So that hurt like hell. Let's hope that that doesn't happen again. And we're going to use... what? Do I want to use a Fast Cure on him? I think I do. No, we need to cast Citadel this round. So, what do we need to do with him? Okay, so this is the turn that his Invigorate's going to wear off, which is good. Let me have him use another Warcry. I'm going to use a Healing Steel. We still has Ruby Armor. Uses Hellfire and kills Sordrell. God damn it. Okay, if he hadn't used that ability, he definitely would be dead, because he healed himself for I think 50% of his max life, and he had about 30% left. So if he had not healed himself, we would have cleared him out there. So all we have to do is hope that he doesn't use that and get him down. So we're not going to use Bloodlust yet, actually. It's tempting to use Bloodlust now, but I actually want to use Bloodlust after Mystical Concealment has already gone out. So we need to get the long duration buffs out first. I'm going to get a Dark Ward up. We are going to get Hamstring on. So he's using Invigorate. Since he's using it off the bat, it's not going to hurt me too much. This actually allows me to just use Mana Surge and not worry about it. So we're going to have him use Invisibility Cloak. Thermite Plasma comes out on Sordrell, and that's unfortunate, because he uses his AoE a decent portion of the time. And if he uses his AoE, then Sordrell's going to go down. Let's go ahead and just use Self-Preservation. Did I already cast Dark Ward? Yes, I did. So we're going to use a Warcry. He's going to use a Covert Ops. And the hope here is that he does not kill Sordrel, and he did not kill Sordrel. So we should be in reasonably good position here. So what do we need to do now? We have not cast Mystical Concealment on him yet. So let's do that this round. So Mystic Concealment's coming out on him, and we've got him doing what? I'm going to have him use Destroy Armor. And we're going to use the Healing Steel. Thermite Plasma comes out on Oberon and does nothing because he doesn't have any of his debuffs on me. How long do you have Invigorate? One more turn. So, since he's losing it next turn, I'm going to use Bloodlust now, and we are going to use Juggernaut now. And we are going to... What are we going to do? How long do we have our buffs? So Warcry lasts for a couple more turns. Dark Ward lasts for another turn. How long does Destroy Armor last for? We've got 5 turns on that, so that's good. We're good to go there. I'm actually going to have him cast Human Shield. So we're going to re-hamstring. Don't want to run the risk of a miss costing us something. Okay, so... that was the last time he's going to get the effect of that buff. So let's see. Do I have anything else that I need to cast to increase his damage output? We have Warcry. We have Plan of Attack. We have the attack number. We have... I'm pretty sure that he's got all of the buffs he needs. So I'm going to use a Holy Heal. And we're going to check Destroy Armor. We've still got like 4 turns on it right now. So what does he need to do? He's already got, I think, everything he needs. No, Dark Ward needs to be recast. Okay. As for him, he's going to use the Healing Steel. So we're doing 130,000 damage per round right now, which is a pretty considerable amount of fucking damage. So now what are we doing? We can cast... Have I gotten Citadel out? I never actually cast Citadel, so we're going to cast Citadel. That's not Citadel. And we're going to have him guard. We're going to have him... I don't really have any damage right now, so I think I'm going to use it behind enemy lines, because it doesn't help a huge amount. Fuck me. He's using Invigorate again. Okay, so this is a problem, because it means I'm not going to burst him down during this phase, even though I have all the deeps coming out. So I'm going to recast Destroy Armor, because I don't really have a lot of mana to play with. We're going to go ahead and hamstring. On the plus side, we are still damaging him considerably. The problem is that we're not going to be dealing enough damage to kill him before our debuffs were off. Or, sorry, before our buffs were off. So we have 1 turn on Bloodlust. We have 2 turns on Jug. So we need to recast Warcry to guard. And I could use a Healing Seal, but there's not really much reason to. What am I going to do with him? Runic Corruption comes out. That is not a pleasant thing to have come out. Let's see. We've got... how long on his other effects? So Bloodlust is coming off. He's going to be having Juggernaut wear off on his next turn. I'm going to have him cast this. We're going to use Guard, and we are going to use a Guard. So, what else do we need? Citadel's still up for 1 more turn. I'm going to recast it anyway. He's gonna guard. Time to steal. We got the ruby armor. So we've got a 10-hit combo there. Hellfire comes out. I do not like that. That's going to degen people. And degen is no fun at all. So I'm not going to be able to finish this round. We're going to use a Holy Heal. I'm going to go ahead and Warcry. We're going to use... Do I want to use Behind Enemy Lines when it's wearing off? No. Behind Enemy Lines is not as important as getting these steals off. So the healing steals allow me to get my HB in good shape. And this should be GG right here. I don't think the boss is going to get another turn. We're going to healing steal to get myself topped up as much as I can for the next fight. But that boss is toast. Whew. So we got the Infernal Sword. Let's see what it does. Inflicts fire damage and absorbs 50% of fire damage. So that's kind of interesting. That indicates to me that he's going to lifesteal, even if he cast a nuke that was fire, that he would lifesteal off of that as well. Which is pretty cool, but not something that I care that much about. Let's go back over this way. And we're headed back to Estonia. So we only have one more. That's not good. I unequipped for that fight, like, all of my stuff. Let's see. Okay, well, that is sad. Okay, we're gonna need to equip our preempt gear again. Which is fine. But we took out that boss. That means that we're going to get access to another special ability. I don't know whether it's going to be any good, honestly. I wasn't impressed with the other one that he got. Let's see. So we want him to have the invisibility cloak. We want him to have the... Do I want the haste helmet? Is that what I want? Okay, he doesn't need anything. He doesn't have the ability to do anything anyway. Okay, so we need to change this Berserker ring out for the EXP ring. Oh, and we need to put the repel ring back on. There we go. Boop. Okay, so this is Westonia. Pop north, say hi, go through, run. And we made it. So, let's go ahead and save the game, now that we're in town. And we can pop over here and say hello to our friend here. You have it? Haha, I'm getting like a teenager. I've searched so long for this sword and now it's finally within my reach. Please let me have it. Don't think I haven't forgotten our deal. I'll teach you in the way of the Infernal Strike in exchange for the Infernal Sword. It's a pleasure dealing with an honest warrior. For a moment I was worried that I was dealing with someone with no ethics. I'm glad to know I was wrong. Okay, so... what does Infernal Strike do? Infernal Strike... is an attack that does fire damage, does not regen. Still one more thing that we can do. Many ancient magical texts, the authors make reference to the legendary Ash Totem. For years I believed it was a purely legend, but the recent revelations have revealed the true existence of the relic. The Ash Totem is powerful magic once in the possession of the elven magician Sarno. It's fitting that the relic is buried in a mine that bears his name. In all my research, I haven't been able to find why the Ash Totem was buried in the Sarno mine. What I do know is that the Ash Totem is heavily protected. To even enter the mine, you must have a key, which I have managed to recently procure. Will you venture to... yeah, sure. Take the Sarno key and head into the southern tundra of Holdra. You'll find Sarno not mined to the east of Okay, so that's a thing we can do. And considering that we're going to be able to use our entire party, it might not be overwhelmingly difficult. So I have high hopes for that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a nap here. And unfortunately, we haven't really gotten a lot of good stuff on the... Like, the effects that I got for Sordrell were okay, and then holy shit godlike, respectively. The stuff that I've gotten for Commonaton have both been kind of whatever, who cares. So hopefully we will be acquiring better stuff for other people. The effect that Oberon got is, his first effect was fine. His shield is okay. It has a lot of defense, but defense isn't really that strong a stat generally. So anyway, that's going to be it for right now. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to eat dinner and all that good stuff. So that's going to be it for today. But thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure stream for today. And next time we're going to go down to the Sarno mine and see what happens. Later, folks.